James, what happened the last time you lied about me? Didn't go very well, did it? Oh no, the last time you didn't lie, you were just really wrong because you don't know what you're talking about. This time you're actually lying. Let's have a listen to your lie.
There's battles against age of consent laws, too. According to Sargon, age of consent should, quote, depend on the child. Really?
That's not what I said, James. Why have you just lied about me? I said that age of sexual maturity varies from person to person, because it does. I also said age of consent laws are fine at 16, which you left out. In fact, in another video, I said again 16 is fine, and then one of the recent ones I did, because for some reason people think I give a shit about age of consent laws, I said raise it to 18 because of the infantilization of young people going well into their 20s, James. Weird that you would lie about that, James. Weird. I mean, what's wrong with questioning the concept of age of consent laws? What's wrong with just talking about it? I mean, have you considered that they are just arbitrary and we choose them in order to try and protect the maximum number of people, as well as providing the maximum freedom to those people who have reached sexual maturity? Or is it just an easy moral panic? And it turns out that white nationalists are really no different to social justice warriors when it comes to drumming up moral panics. Come on, James. And also, I love this whole video. I love the context. I love the title. Sargon is ruining UKIP. Brexit at risk. Come on, James. I don't have the power to ruin UKIP or ruin Brexit. I don't have that kind of influence. I know you think I do because you have Sargon derangement syndrome, but I'm afraid I don't. And trust me, if I did have the power to directly impact Brexit in this way, I would do a much better job than Theresa May. And again, like, you thinking that anyone outside of Theresa May's inner circle has any influence over what's going on here, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. But you're an American, so I don't blame you for that. It's not your back garden. I don't expect you to know, but you think you know. And oof, look at that dislike ratio. I added my own on there because, you know, why not? I'm happy to have contributed to that because, once again, you don't know what you're talking about and you're spreading fake news, James. Maybe that's something to do with the ever-elusive transitive property.
And should be a, quote, case-by-case basis.
Do you not think that things should be done on a case-by-case basis? I mean, if we didn't think things should be judged on a case-by-case basis, why would we have judges? Why would it not just be like a computer that said, right, okay, if someone has been convicted of, say, murdering someone, then they just get life sentences? Why would we have any kind of variation? Why would there be any kind of input from a human in that? Because we judge everything on a case-by-case basis? I don't even know why you think that's a bad thing to say. Like, okay.
Farage, UKIP advocated for bringing back the UK's grammar schools. Under Sargon, they'll be advocating for legalized sex with the kids that attend them.
That is just a lie and a smear. And what's worse is I think you're actually too dumb to know that. I think you genuinely think this because you've done none of the work. You're parroting lies, and this is reflected in your like-dislike ratio. This is also reflected on a bunch of the comments you got on this video too, which, just like the other videos you did aimed at me, where you got chewed out, you ignored. It's not that there's information there that you should be picking up and running with, actually modifying your own worldview, because you are doing nothing different to the papers that also do this. You are doing absolutely nothing differently to the mainstream media at this point. This is you trying to drum up a moral panic, and it ain't going to work. It's already failed. Again, look at your comments. You know, when you're not busy shilling for expert trading tools at tradegenius.com.
And these are just tweets over the past 5 days or so. UKIP's new leadership has decided to fully embrace people like Sargon and Count Dankula in an attempt to court young supporters. Well, we thought they did anyways. Even UKIP leadership is growing disturbed by the behavior of their new ambassador, who is, by the way, and don't let you forget it, wearing a suit. According to leadership, Sargon isn't actually an official party representative, and he was invited to speak to the EU as a, quote, subject matter expert.
I never said I was an official representative of UKIP. I'm just a party member.
This certainly is interesting considering he also just addressed their conference via Skype a few days ago, and his War Plan Purple Twitter claims to be an official UKIP account.
Yeah, exactly, James. Exactly. There's something incongruent here that you can't understand. Why, if all of these things that we're saying are true, why are they giving him a platform at the party conference to play a video because he couldn't attend? Why are we doing all of this? And it's because your narrative just isn't true. What you're saying is not real. And the thing is, it's not like UKIP don't know that. You think this is the first time that UKIP have been smeared? You think this is the first time I've been smeared? We've all been round this block a few damn times, James. And if you paid attention and actually got your facts straight, you'd probably know that too. I love that you've got like liberalist lol. James, you're a white nationalist? How's that going for you?
He's even trying to co-opt UKIP using his dopey liberalist terminology. Total cringe. So while Sargon claims to be representing UKIP and retweets attacks on Nigel Farage in between discussions about child sex and tweets about Mr. Medicker's girlfriend,
I don't run that account. I know that you think I do, but I don't run that account. And you know that I don't run that account because nobody has managed to get that account banned yet. Because it ain't me. I'm sorry that you think it's me. And I'm sorry that considering things on a case-by-case basis is offensive to you, but there isn't actually a moral panic here, and you look really silly. For what is this? Is this the third time that you've come at me and looked really dumb? I think it might be. It might be the fourth. To be honest with you, stop paying attention. I don't subscribe to your channel.
Nigel Farage is out there doing the hard work. As I'm writing this script, Farage has been doing a media circuit calling out Theresa May and her government for their half-in, half-out Brexit deal. He's been generating headline after headline for his victorious exchanges with daytime TV presenters and radio hosts, leading the charge for a full and complete Brexit. He's become a key member in the Leave Means Leave campaign, fighting to make sure the Conservatives do not betray their voters. And all the while, what's going on at UKIP? Sargon is tweeting dumb memes about Count Dankula, and Count Dankula is giving speeches at UKIP's conference.
Wow, it almost sounds like we're doing things. I mean, we were just at the EU as the subject matter experts, but don't worry about that, James. If you leave that out, that goes away. You can just make a joke about a suit. That's the important thing. That's the thing to really take away. We're not out there doing anything. And, James, you have to understand, with Brexit, there is no changing their mind at this point. You know, the Conservative Party is also in turmoil. Various people like David Davis have resigned from the Brexit team, and other people like Dominic Raab have come on. And we've come to a point where the EU won't even accept Theresa May's surrender. So you can sit there going, oh, they should be doing this, this, and this for Brexit. Yeah, Brexit's fucked, man. Theresa May has fucked it. We're probably going to crash out in a hard Brexit through her incompetence. So honestly, I'm happy for her to continue because I wanted the hard Brexit. I wanted everything out, no money given to the EU, and it looks like Theresa May is actually accidentally going to put us there. So once again, you don't really know what you're talking about, and nothing we can do in this regard is going to actually change what Theresa May is going to do. If they're preventing Brexiteers from even joining the Conservative Party, I think the guy's name was Aaron Banks, the guy who runs Leave Means Leave, he's the one who was prevented from actually joining the Conservatives because he is a Brexiteer, and it's currently being run by Remainers. Thankfully, as I said, they're incompetent Remainers, and they're going to crash us out, giving us the most desirable form of Brexit, in my opinion, and they didn't even mean to do it. But you don't know any of this.
As if he's someone important or politically knowledgeable.
Well, he is important. He's currently the guy who is demonstrating that our hate crime laws are actually oppressive. I mean, I know that that's you, ensconced in your First Amendment, don't have to worry about that, but we don't live in a free country, so sit down and shut the fuck up. Let the man work. He's busy trying to get this fixed. And let's be honest, I don't think you should talk about anyone else not being politically knowledgeable, James. You don't know shit.
I don't blame Sargon for single-handedly marginalizing and destroying UKIP.
You spent half this video pointing out that before the YouTubers joined, their numbers were in the fucking toilet. They were hemorrhaging members and they were about to go bankrupt. How did I destroy UKIP? I have been part of UKIP's rise to prominence once again. You dumb fuck. You do not know what you're talking about. James, stop talking. Go back to discussing white identity politics, which again is a subject you don't understand, but at least you understand it more than this. You don't know what's going on. And I don't blame you for not knowing what's going on. But the thing is, you could have emailed me and I probably would have answered your questions. I'd have been like, yes, James, what do you want? How can I explain the world and how it works to you today? You know, everyone's going, oh, ego, ego, ego. You're not going to change any of this because of your ego. This is going to sting. You're going to be like, oof, that's not fair. No, you certainly did do all of these things that I've misquoted and misrepresented. I'm absolutely sure. I'm not going to make a retraction. You're not going to do any of these things because of your ego.
I blame their leadership for choosing this as the direction they want to go in.
They didn't choose us. We chose them. Again, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, we asked them if we could join, and they said yes. And they said, hey, could you help us out? And we said, of course we can. This is why I was interviewing 4 MEPs. Lots of views on my channel for that. Way more views than you're going to get for this. Do you not think that's productive? Do you not think that's helpful for them to actually be able to put out their message that they've tried to tell the media, but the media just won't listen to? I think that's useful, but hey, you're hung up on a Twitter account that I don't even run.
Nigel Farage is single-handedly doing more to ensure the British people get the Brexit they voted for, while
Nigel Farage is capable of doing these things because he is Nigel Farage. Most people are not Nigel Farage. We have other things to worry about. We think that UKIP should become a multivariant party, a party with more than one goal, more than just Brexit. And I think that's a good idea, and I think a lot of other people in UKIP seem to think that too. So what's wrong with us doing that? I mean, Brexit is going ahead outside of our power to influence. We can whine about it and stomp our feet all we want, but the Conservatives are hard-headed and dumb. They really remind me of someone. Can't think who.
His former party is devolving into a C-list E-celeb circle jerk and general cringe fest. Farage knows this too, by the way. He spoke...
I don't know if I'd talk about cringe fests if I were you, James. Just, again, I'm just saying as someone who is concerned about the numerous inaccuracies in your content and the fact that you promote white identitarianism, I'm just saying when you're living in a glass house, throwing stones is a brave move. Also, Farage, I think, is completely wrong on the concern regarding Batten's interest in discussing Islam or free speech or the hate crime laws or anything like that. I think that these are aspects of my society that are really starting to bite into people's real lives. I mean, thousands of people a year are being arrested over this. The police are becoming almost like inquisitors when it comes to these subjects as well. I mean, like Scotland, the Scottish government put out a pro-intersectionality advert saying, we are phobic of your transphobia. Do you think that at some point we're going to have to address these wider social issues? I mean, I think we are. And I think laying the groundwork now, while we haven't got any control over what happens with Brexit, is just fine. I mean, I could sit there banging the Brexit drum all day, but I did that before the referendum. I made loads of videos about Brexit, all very much, we need hard Brexit now, and now we're going to get it. So I'm not going to interrupt my enemy when they're making a mistake.
About the dangers of embracing fringe elements, and he's right. You need serious people to lead a serious political movement.
James, you are a fringe element. You also want to get involved in politics. I saw someone talking about you thinking about running for like a local governorship or something, which you should do. Anyone should do this. But the idea that you're not a fringe element and you think we're fringe elements as well is very amusing. There's nothing wrong with embracing a fringe element that has an important message, and we do have an important message, and this is something that is going to come increasingly to the fore. We can sit there and stamp it down, and you can shit on me and Count Dankula and Tommy Robinson all you want, saying that we aren't raising relevant issues, but I think you're wrong, and I think the British public will think you're wrong, and I think that you will see this vindicated.
And your ability to put on a suit does not make you a serious person.
No shit. The suit was a punishment. You understand? I considered it to be suffering. Penance for my sins. Don't worry, I know I'm going over your head.
Enough with this goofy, cringeworthy self-indulgence and self-promotion.
What, can we have enough of the cringy, I think I know better than literally everyone in Britain attitude from an American who's, 25? Who doesn't know shit about shit, who doesn't understand the ideology he's dealing with, doesn't understand the political climate, doesn't understand how Brexit works, and doesn't understand that he has been fooled and is propagating lies and fake news. I mean, you can sit there going, oh, but everything else is cringe. Yeah, but you are actively misinforming people. Why are you doing this? Stop it. Get some help. Has a boomer meme for you, right?
Getting the right deal on Brexit is important, and if it's going to happen, there needs to be a formidable and serious political party with serious people willing to fight for the British people and push for that deal.
James, there is nothing to be done, right? Theresa May has the Prime Ministership. She is the Premier. She is the Premier for the entire duration of Brexit. She's not going to call another referendum because she's not suicidal. She knows she's not going to win it. She's going to hand Corbyn a Labour government. She and the Conservative Party are the ones dealing with this for the next, 4 or 5 years. I can't remember exactly how much longer she's got. But that's what it is. So you can sit there and go, well, I mean, British people need Brexit. Yeah, we do. But it's out of our hands now. And you just don't understand that. So there are other issues that we're going to talk about. I mean, did you read the UKIP manifesto? It's got some good stuff in it. You might be surprised at how broad UKIP is going to get with their aims, and how many people will, I think, be interested in hearing about these things once the hysterics die down. I will do a video about the UKIP manifesto, because it annoys me that a bunch of people have taken things out of context. Things aren't true. But I mean, I wouldn't go running to James Allsup about someone taking stuff out of context, because he's just as guilty as everyone else.
That needs to be UKIP's focus and role going forward. UKIP needs to be a serious party, not a hangout for YouTube skeptics that want to dabble in party politics to get clicks.
Okay, first up, there are no clicks to be gained by dabbling in party politics. This isn't the sort of thing that generally generates a huge amount of views. This is the sort of thing that is actually a net loss. You know, you are specifically choosing a segment of your audience and specifically making content for that segment. The other segments who are not interested in this, but were interested in the wider talk about, say, the regressive left or Islam or whatever, they're not going to be interested in watching this. So you sitting there going, well, this is just being done for clicks. Not true. This is being done because we think it's necessary to show that UKIP can attract other people that are not into necessarily like traditional party politics. And you sit there going, UKIP needs to be a serious party. UKIP has never been a slick, professional, made-over party. I mean, you can look on this channel that I've put this up on and find, I think it was the 2005 UKIP party advert, where they have a giant octopus coloured in the colours of the EU squatting over Westminster. They've always been a party with a bit of levity and good humour, and honestly, that's one of the reasons I was so excited to join, because they do have a sense of humour about themselves, because they can just roll with the nonsense, and they can make the odd joke along the way. They're a party of really regular people, and I really like it. Stop getting a fucking stick up your ass, Mr. White Nationalist.
I'm not opposed to social media strategies. Obviously, they can be hugely effective, but with Sargon running their youth media strategy, UKIP is in for a whole lot of petty celeb fights with not much else.
Is this a petty celeb fight, or is this me correcting you lying? Am I allowed to do that, or is that petty celeb fight? Just wondering.
Farage needs to come back. He needs to take the reins at UKIP and purge the destructive elements of his party.
So, do you know how the party works? Obviously, you don't know how the party works. But Farage can't just come back. There has to be an election within the party to the party leadership. I don't know whether you've noticed, but Jared Batten is doing a phenomenally good job right now. He saved the party from destruction. He has accepted in new blood. It's giving the party new life. It's getting them a lot more media coverage. And Batten is hammering it at these Tommy rallies. He's absolutely nailing the real issues, the truths about the problems that we're facing. And he would have to compete with Farage. Well, maybe Farage would win on star power. Who knows? But I did a poll on my Facebook page the other day, and Batten was already at 40% compared to Farage's 60%, which isn't that comfortable a margin, really, if you're Farage, is it? All things considered. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Farage and I'm a fan of Batten. I think they're both doing great work. I don't really mind which one leads. I would probably choose Batten, though, because he's more reliable. He seems more stolid and in it for the win. You know, Farage is too much of a superstar, in my opinion, to lead. I think he's really great doing exactly what he's doing. I think he's doing a fantastic job of it too. But what I'm saying, James, is it ain't going to happen like you think it's going to happen because you don't understand how it works. You can go on Wikipedia and cite a bunch of dates and a bunch of names of people you don't know and you don't understand, the people you haven't met, you don't understand the internal dynamics of the party, and you can extrapolate from that all you want, but you will be wrong, as you are in this video, repeatedly, when you're not deliberately and mendaciously lying. The fire never stops, James. It never stops. It keeps going and going and going. When Brexit's done in 2 or 3 years' time, we'll be glad that we're talking about the other issues that really matter. And there are other issues that really matter. Like I said, the Tories, they're going to crash out in our favour. They're going to give us what we want if we just let them carry on. So I'm not going to interrupt them, but I am going to interrupt you. You're wrong again, James. I don't suppose there'll be any kind of retraction for this third bunch of falsehoods that you spread, but that's only because my ego isn't so big that I won't apologise and correct myself after I've spread falsehoods. I wonder if yours is, James.